why do people like free stuff so much? Just knock it off. Just pay for everything in your life. Today was Free Comic Book Day. Shame on you guys for going and getting free books. Um, Everything in life that's good, you have to pay for, and that's just a lesson you need to learn early on in life. So I was swamped all day at the comic shop because you guys needed to get your free comics. Yeah, how dare you guys? It's messed up. Um, you know, like, what's your problem? Spend money every day, all day on everything that you like. Spend money on stuff you don't like. How about that? All right. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Panel. Back again with the weekly pulls. Once again, we want to remind you that Comic Universe is our sponsor. Located at 446 McDade Boulevard in Folsom, PA, just outside the city, these guys have an amazing back issue selection, amazing key selection, amazing graded book selection, dollar bins, trade paperbacks, hardcovers, Pokemon cards more recently. Anything you guys need, they got it. Give them a visit. Mike and Mike are two lovely guys who are happy to help you guys find the books you're looking for. They release new content every single Wednesday. So they got new books on the shelves from, all your big distributors. Anything you guys need, they can find it for you. If you guys see Mike and Mike, let them know that the Cosmic Panel sent you.
So anyway, guys, like, subscribe, comment down below what comics you're pulling this week. And Elias, what is your first comic?
My first pull for this week is Wolverine number 49. I wanted to talk about this book, so I put it on my list this week. This is the penultimate issue of this Wolverine volume. There have been ups and downs to this arc. There's definitely been some cooler moments, though. I really enjoy the inclusion of the Exiles and some other peripheral characters. I enjoy the art, I would say, a lot. I enjoy Laura's screen time a lot. There's definitely some ridiculous moments to this book. It's a little over the top with its
Just a tad.
violence and just all that kind of stuff. But yeah, bringing Grading Creed back is a cool deep cut. So there's a couple cool things about this arc for sure. I think it's a little long. I'm a little confused to see how Sabretooth is going to come back from the Death Seed. But overall, I'm very, very excited to see how this is going to wrap up. Only this issue and then the last issue left to go. So let's get into it.
So I'm just curious, as someone who kind of dropped off and was following this, but just tapped out after. Let me pull up right here,
Yeah, I'm
issue
curious. 46. 46 you gave up? Let's see.
Yeah.
The
last one I read was 45. 46 was the one I didn't read.
Oh, 45. Let's see if I got to look at the cover to remember which one that was.
The one with lobotomy Wolverine.
Oh, so you didn't read that.
Yeah, I didn't.
You didn't read 46.
Yeah, I didn't read 46.
Yeah, I would definitely say that this arc has gotten better over the course of the issues. Like, it's gotten definitely better. There's a really cool issue where Sabretooth uses Quentin to mind control Logan into thinking that he's on a mission with Creed, like back in the day kind of thing. And so they split every single page down the middle, showing what's actually happening and showing what's happening in Logan's mind, like in the past.
Huh.
So that there's some really good layouts. Like I said, the art's cool. But yeah, it's definitely gotten better. They brought Grading Creed, Sabretooth's son, back into the main universe. And he's pretty jacked. He was able to hijack a Sentinel and shit like that. So he's pretty busted. Yeah, because he's been away in an alternate dimension for a long time.
Just traveling the multiverse.
Mm-hmm. So,
which is
this has definitely gotten better.
Like, what is that? His power, traveling the multiverse or something? Like,
no, but basically they showed his ability to survive and adapt, which I think is just kind of the classic Sabretooth trait. And he was basically able to adapt, and he's has a lot of cybernetics and shit now. So he's really powerful and a lot different. But but yeah, so basically where we're at now is that Logan's powers have been neutralized. Sabretooth basically uh, got deep into Krakoa and found this neutralizer of powers that Forge made and
Oh
shot
yeah.
Wolverine with it. Yeah, so they brought that back. And yeah, so he shot Wolverine with that, so he doesn't have his powers right now. Sabretooth almost killed him, but the Exiles jumped in. So,
Wait, is it permanent? No way, right? Because like
uh,
this takes place
that's a
before
good question.
the powers of X thing.
I think it's supposed to be.
Because the one that
I
Forge
think
made
it's
was
supposed to
supposed to
be
be permanent.
permanent. Yeah, it is supposed to be permanent. So they're gonna have to reverse it in like the last issue, basically. But anyway, that's why you see Wolverine with this huge ass armor, because he needs some extra adamantium protection. So at the last page of the last issue was really cool. He basically walked out of this bunker that he had with this adamantium armor on, and he's got a Muramasa blade. So yeah, it's
Or
like I
Mossa Blade.
said, this arc has gotten a lot better as it went. It's pretty ridiculous, but I think if you embrace that, you'll find a little more enjoyment reading it. So yeah, issue 49. I'm excited.
Hopefully the adamantium poisoning doesn't kill him before he reaches Sabretooth.
Yeah,
He just dies from just straight up just having so much metal next to him.
yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do with them because I don't know how they're gonna reverse this. But it's also like
Well, like
I'm sure they'll
the whole
figure out
thing
a
with
way
Forge
because
was
of
that
how
like
ridiculous the fact it is that Sabretooth is not just automatically dead from the Death Seed like right now. So I don't know.
it's just wild because like the whole point of like the Forge's gun is that it's a guaranteed way because even Mora couldn't come back from that. That was why she
Mm.
became a cyborg. Like that was literally the whole reason. So it's like
They play fast and loose with some of the Krakoan stuff when they want to.
yeah, true. Anyway, let's
Yeah.
move on from that.
Only Wolverine number 49, guys. Today, that's the only pull. That's
Yeah.
it. Bye bye. Lucas, what is your first pull for this week?
So something I honestly never expected, but Kneel Before Zod number 5. I actually really like this book. This book has been really, really well thought out. It's kind of Zod kind of learning his own place within the universe now that like he's kind of settled. He's a dictator on a world, but basically he's not really antagonizing other people. He's kind of just like keeping to himself and trying to rebuild Krypton. But people keep on trying to attack the world that he's in charge of. And last issue, we had this really, really sick moment where basically these alien invaders were coming in and trying to take over Zod's planet, and they basically nuked the sun that of the planet that Zod was on to limit to his powers, him and his wife's powers for like a couple of hours. And during that time, they killed Zod's wife and killed her and his unborn child. And it's pretty fucked because at the end of the comic, we get revealed that Lord Zod, General Zod's son, who's in not Super Sons, what's it called?
Sinister Sons.
Sinister Sons, yeah, gave the location of the planet. So he's the reason why his mom is now dead. He doesn't know that, obviously, but so Zod is now going to be going after his son to potentially actually kill him, which is a pretty crazy thought. But yeah, Zod is very broken. Um, he's currently held by these aliens who have figured out kryptonite radiation, and basically, he has given up on life. From what I can tell, he might go after for revenge, but honestly, at this point, he just lost his wife, his planet, and his unborn child. He is and his son left in the first issue, so he is right now very much a broken man.
Huh. Yeah, I
Womp
didn't
womp.
expect much out of this series.
Sorry, I had to hit him with that. It was just so. It's just
Yeah, I didn't expect much out of this series, so I'm glad to hear it's good.
same.
And it
I
seems
was
to
very
be
much.
ongoing because there's already a solicit for July. So I'm glad it's selling well enough anyway.
Yeah, I really went into this with like no expectations. I thought it was gonna be mid as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, and I mean Sinister Sons is the definition of mid as fuck, um, which is really disappointing because it's the author I really like. But Neil Before His On, really good. Joe Casey really killing it, and Dan McQuaid. So art works perfectly for this type of series. Anyway, Elias, what is your next pick?
Next up for me is Fantastic Four number 20.
Of course,
FF19, yet another banger. Um, I didn't know where they were going with the noir storyline, and
I
I
was
thought it was
also very
a fun
surprised.
payoff. Once they said Pace Pop Pete's real name, I was like, oh shit, what is it, Pete Petruski? I was like, damn, oh okay, so Pace Pop Pete has the hold of a cosmic cube, which is fucking nuts. That's a first. But yeah, I mean, this was just a blast. Just a really fun issue. Um, in the back of your head, you're wondering, what the hell's going on here. There's always some other lurking plot point when they do these kind of issues for FF. But once again, continues to just be a really fun time. You know, one issue arcs, two issue arcs, just very digestible FF fun. Issue 20 is going to be some Johnny and Ben time, which, classic. I love their dynamic. I love their energy. So it looks like they're going to have a hard time getting some part time jobs. So we're going to see Ben and Johnny, I guess, join the workforce. This cover is, of course, a really fun nod to
That's
American Gothic.
yeah,
And yeah, after this, we're going to jump into some Blood Hunt tie ins, some fantastic covers, by the way. And I'm curious to see what they're going to have to do with that.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see how this series. Honestly, with this series, I'm pretty sure it probably was not required to tie in with Blood Hunt. So I'm pretty sure if it's going to, probably has some cool ideas with it. But yeah, this issue looks really fun. It looks like it'll be a fun time with Ben and Johnny, which we honestly haven't really got time with them. We got time with Sue and Reed. We got time with like just Ben and Alicia. We even got time with just Johnny, but Johnny and Ben haven't really had a time together. So yeah,
Yeah, I like that. We waited this long to do the obvious kind of thing.
yeah, it's great. It really makes you feel like the characters are family because each one of their dynamics are so unique.
And also, issue 19, yet another point towards Alicia being just the fucking breakout star of this series. I mean, she's just
Seriously,
fantastic. She's just so good.
so smart. I love the fact that like Ben isn't the detective. That would have been the obvious choice, you know.
Yeah, he was just like her lout husband. It was
It
funny.
was so good.
What is next up for you?
Next up for me is Transformers number 8. Last issue of Transformers was pretty brutal. Starscream got his ass handed to him really, really hard. Uh, fucking Soundwave cleaned him, clocked him. It was over. It was quick. Soundwave proving yet again why he is one of the best Decepticons. Motherfucker didn't even have to. Man brought out the cassette tape to kill this motherfucker. It was over. Man was like Kendrick dropping another diss track. It was wild. But yeah, no, it was just fun seeing Starscream begging for being like, please, I can still be your second. And Soundwave just be like, fuck no, get the fucking die. It was so good. And then now we have the Autobots kind of regrouping. Got a little bit of a tease on some of their past. We got a flashback, and also Jorge Corona's art is amazing. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, kind of hard to spot a difference. The colorists I think are definitely helping a lot. Mike Spicer as the colorist and letterer, because they keep those like same impact like words and stuff. But um, his art style is very similar. He's keeping a lot of the details that DWJ brought into Transformers designs. It's really sick.
Yeah, from what I saw, just from some brief flip throughs, it definitely seems like the inking and the coloring is making it feel a little more DWJ than normal. Um, but no doubt that Jorge is still a fantastic artist. So glad to hear that this is continuing to be strong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad that they were able to find an artist that was similar enough in style without feeling like a shock. So I'm glad.
Yeah, big time.
Anyway, Elias, what is your next pick?
Next up for me is going to be Doctor Strange number 15. So
So spoilers for Blood Hunt.
so spoilers for Blood Hunt. Um, yeah, I don't. Okay, so Blood Hunt has the makings to be a cool event. Every time Marvel does an event where they open up and they kill a bunch of people, every single time I know they're going to reverse it by the end.
Yeah,
And that just always weakens the strength of the narrative for me. So I don't know what the
100%
plan
agree.
is with Strange here. I'm assuming that Blade is gonna, I don't know, bite him or some shit. Just from these covers, we're seeing a vampiric Doctor Strange. Um, he's not gonna die. He's gonna be transformed, is my understanding. Now, did you see the red band version?
Yeah, where he straight up sliced him in half. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
What? How are they gonna explain that one? I
Just
don't
grab his
know.
entrails, shove it into him, be like, ah,
He's just gonna bite him and then like put him back together. Like I don't know. It's just a little goofy. Yeah, the
Red
red
Band
band was
felt
just a
like
difference of
whatever.
like 3 panels.
Yeah,
Um,
apparently it was only 7 panels total. Someone actually
7. Okay.
counted, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like whatever.
The Black Panther moment could have been worse for sure. Um, but yeah. Anyway, I think Jed's got a cool idea here. I was a little pissed off that I read Blood Hunt before I read Vengeance 5. They should have had a note for that. Like,
I haven't
please.
read Vengeance 5, so I
But you
should I
read
read
Blood
that?
Hunt.
Yeah, I read Blood Hunt, but
So
not
Shroud
Vengeance.
just fucking explodes into a Dark Force portal. So like, what's the point? Why'd they do me like that? It came out the same day, and there was no
That's
note
funny.
in Blood Hunt being like, this takes place after Vengeance of Moon Knight 5. Anyway, I'm curious to see what the hell is going to happen with Steven here. He has to help the Earth? Question mark.
They're kind of
But yeah, it
like
picks up right after Blood Hunt. So let's see what the hell happens.
I'm not gonna lie, Earth is kind of fucked right now. Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, living in the Marvel universe is the fucking worst, bro. Like one day you have a celestial god saying that all y'all should die, and then the next second you have fucking vampires chewing up like France. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
No wonder the maker wanted to leave that universe.
Blood Hunt 1. Yeah. Blood Hunt 1 uh, definitely, gets readers invested. A lot of shocking twists and turns really fast. But yeah, obviously we need some questions answered. I don't know what the hell Strange is going to do. I
I have a
wish there was
question.
some build up in his book because it feels like Moon Knight led into this in the way of Shroud, but Doctor Strange didn't really build up into this. Like the last issue of Doctor Strange was sort of just like pretty lighthearted kind of thing.
You're still
So
trying to get the Bat storyline solved.
yeah, exactly. So I was hoping that this was going to resolve some of that stuff with his brother and shit, but
I mean, it
I
still
don't know.
might. He's still a vampire,
Right. So I'm hoping
so
that they
maybe.
figure something out here.
Um, Now question, and this is something that I thought since seeing these covers. What is the likelihood that they keep Doctor Strange as a vampire after this event?
Interesting.
Like as like a like you know how they have to have long lasting consequences, and Jed seemingly does like at least having like some long lasting consequences to arcs.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just my problem with the red band is like, how are you going to kill the guy like that
Yeah,
just fucking died that you just brought back? It just loses the impact because Death of Doctor Strange was literally Jed's foray into Doctor Strange.
yeah.
So I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at that if that's the way they're going, especially if they do what I'm hoping they're gonna do with his brother. Um, but yeah,
I think it could be
they just
cool for
can't
him to
straight up kill
relearn
him and bring him
magic.
back again because they just did that.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think it would be cool to have him relearn magic where he has to basically he can't use any of the gods and shit like that. Like that would be interesting because like obviously he can't call into like holy shit if he's a vampire.
Yeah, that
I
could
feel
be
like that could
interesting.
be a cool twist. Like oh, he has to completely devoid himself from the Vishanti, like or any of those gods.
Yeah. Sorry that this is a long section, but there's just a lot of blood hunt thoughts. Obviously, right now, my other complaint is just that Blade did not even the last page kick into this at all. Blade's
The
just evil
series,
all of a sudden.
yeah, the series didn't tie into this at all.
It like whimpered off and died. It was a shame. Like I don't know why this couldn't have continued or led into Blood Hunt. They spent 10 issues just fighting the one fucking threat, the Adana, and it's like, come on.
They shouldn't have killed her off. She should be like the quote unquote main villain of this, and then Blade is doing this to fight her. If they were
I
gonna
can
do this in it,
see how they're
you
going to
know,
explain this. Like, Blade, was corrupted by Dracula and was corrupted by the Adana, but like, just give me a little bit of lead up. Just a little bit. That's all.
I agree.
Okay. I'm going to shut up and I'm going to ask Lucas what his next pick is.
My next pick is Deadpool #2. I'm not usually a huge Deadpool person, but honestly, Cody Ziegler writing for Deadpool is pretty phenomenal. He gets a lot of really cool references, a lot of really funny jokes. Surprisingly, he keeps a lot of stuff from the previous run that I actually really liked. Um, and then on top of that, we are now getting a new villain established. But more than anything, we're getting Taskmaster again with Deadpool, which I'm not gonna lie, I love seeing Taskmaster with anyone, period. But my two favorite characters to see him with, Deadpool and Moon Knight.
Classic pair.
So like, yeah, no, this for me is just like exactly what I want, especially if you're gonna start like a new Deadpool series. Like, but yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun. New villain, Death Grip, which is pretty interesting. Who realized that Deadpool can't die and is like kind of Craven the Hunter esque, where he's like, I must kill him. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going to happen, especially because Deadpool is also recruiting for a new mercenary agency. So let's see what happens. Because the last time that happened, they kind of went shit show. So
Yeah.
Mercs with a mouth all over again.
Yeah. I'm not reading this series, but from my flip through of issue 1, it looks like they're keeping some continuity, which is great. He still has Princess. I think he still has his girlfriend as well. Yeah.
No, they actually broke up.
All right. Well, that's stupid. But he still got Princess. So I was like, oh,
Yeah,
they give a little bit of a shit about the continuity.
they kept
Um,
Princess.
but yeah, is it like Adelaide agency that he's trying to run, or
No,
is it
no,
just
no. It's
kind of referencing that?
no, it's just a new agency he wanted to make. Agent Gao was like asking if he wanted to join to make an agency so that they could go after villains and shit. And he just took the idea and just was like, "Fuck it, you know what? Actually, no, I'm gonna make my own."
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. The plot's like pretty like minimal. It's just fun to see him like have
Yeah.
wacky shenanigans again without it feeling like the it did a good job of towing the line of Deadpool being funny and witty while also not being lol rar xd type of like meme Deadpool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Like
got
it's
you.
a very thin line, and it's very very easy for writers to just like make him genuinely so annoying. But Cody Ziegler got him down. And I was like, okay, like he made like one Chainsaw Man reference, and I was like, okay, that's like his one anime reference, and I was like, you know what, that's fine as long as it's not like stapled every fucking page. I'm down with Deadpool like being a little bit like calmer with his references and just making funny jokes.
Yeah. for sure.
It also was a pretty funny moment where he was like, "You ever watch Chainsaw Man?" And he does this, which in the Chainsaw Man universe makes like a fox head spawn and eat the whatever you do it to, and so Princess just eats the guy.
That's good.
That's pretty funny. What's next up for you?
Next up for me is going to be Birds of Prey number 9. This arc has been really solid so far. I like this grouping a lot. I like, excuse me, I like the personality of Cynthia a lot. I think she's been very strong, and it's cool to see a new hero really start to develop. Quite a mystery going on with this one. Someone is after Batgirl, as we know, and is somehow time travel related slash dimension hopping related. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this next issue. It looks like hopefully we'll get some answers, maybe a final page reveal of who is the villain that is trying to target the Birds of Prey and target Barbara.
Yeah, last issue was really funny.
Yeah, it was a fun issue. Good action, good humor,
Barda
and
was my favorite part of that.
yeah, and against everything they wanted, Barbara came onto the field and, of course, was immediately whisked away into a portal. So now uh, the birds got to go after her.
Yeah. Either way, the series has been great. I've really been enjoying it. Also,
Yeah, I'm glad it's continuing. Glad that they kept Barda on. That was kind of what I was hoping for. And Vixen has been fun so far. And like I said, Sin is shaping up to be very interesting. Um, she kind of has she's the angel, and the Megara is the devil that she's kind of battling with. So it's an interesting dynamic.
yeah.
All right, Lucas, what is next up for you?
Next up for me is The Last Mermaid number 3. Kind of surprised by this. This was really, really good. I read this thinking, okay, whatever. I'll just catch up on a random indie series. Like sometimes I just put them on my list and they kind of just float in the background. They come and go, and then I don't ever talk about them. But this series is really fucking good. I was genuinely surprised. I'm not a mermaid person ever, but it's really interesting. It's a mermaid who basically pilots a mech in a post-apocalyptic world, which sounds insane when you pitch it like that. um, but basically, her mech has like a bubble and it has water, and so she's basically going from place to place looking for purified water as she travels through this like wasteland. And we don't know much about the wasteland or anything like that, but it's just her struggles within it. And first issue was really good, strong. All of them feel really short, which is unfortunate, but they're not actually short. It's just the artist lets panels sit and breathe, which is really refreshing. Also, the writer and the artist are the same person, Kirk Kim. But yeah, also I do have to give them props. They have an axolotl as their pet companion. So, but yeah, no, the series has been surprisingly good. A little bit dark, but not dark enough to make me say that this couldn't be read to a child, honestly. But it's really nice. I was kind of surprised by how good this was.
Cool. Yeah, this has been intriguing to me. I haven't read it myself, but it's been intriguing to me because it's a very odd sized book. Like it's almost like a kid's book size in the way that it's
Huh.
longer horizontal than it is tall. Um, it's going to be a nightmare to store for comic collectors
Oh, I'm
because
sure.
it doesn't fit into a normal bag and board, at least, you know, vertically. Probably going to have to turn it. But yeah, that definitely caught my eye. Uh, and some people have been picking it up, and I've heard good things about it. So
I
that's
honestly
interesting.
think you would like it. As like someone who is a fan of like nature and stuff like that, I genuinely think you would like it quite a bit. It's kind of the thing that the issue does really really well, which I love when an issue does. I hate it and I love it at the same time. It makes me go, wait, really? That's the end of the issue? Like I need more. And that's
Yeah.
that's a sign of a great book when you're like, I need more immediately instead of being like, okay, cool, I'm done for this month.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, no, I really been enjoying it. Kind of surprised.
Nice. Another another win for Image, eh?
Yeah, no, Image be giving artists writing credits and just letting them go crazy on like random books, and I mean Chroma, and now this, like, really good highlights of what they can do when they're unburdened by any protocols or procedures.
Yeah, big time.
Because this would have never, you can't pitch this series to an, like, when I say there's a lot of empty space, like there's very little dialogue. Like it's kind of just lets the art speak for itself, you know. Anyway, Elias, what is your top pick?
My top pick for this week is going to be Poison Ivy number 22. I really, really, really enjoyed the flashback arc, the retelling of Pamela's origin. I thought it was a very solid arc. I thought it uh, was very necessary. I think a lot of, we'll say retcon or a lot of like origin retelling stories feel unnecessary, feel like a an annoying detour. Whereas I feel like this was necessary and this was well done. It was some really cool, background. You got some more idea of how much you should be hating Woodrue. You got some more idea of Pamela's, crazy romantic life, which I think is written very well in this book and is done very, well and fun. And yeah, now in this issue, we're finally getting back to the present, and we're going to see how Pamela has recovered, and we're going to see how Woodrue has come back. And I'm very excited to return to the present, but definitely enjoyed that flashback arc.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely freaked out a little bit when I read the summary because it said the climax of year 2 of Poison Ivy, so I got worried they were about to enter another flashback for year 2. But then I was like, oh no, they mean like 2 years of this run going,
Which
which is
is
crazy
nuts,
to
by
think
the
about.
way.
Yeah, no, 2 years is crazy to think about.
Yeah, I'm glad that the sales are there to make it run for 22 issues. I never thought I would see a Poison Ivy series that long.
When a character is given enough love and care, especially a character like Poison Ivy who never really gets time to shine outside of being like a seductress or something along those lines, or like a sidekick to Harley or Batman, like given enough love and care, they can really bloom. Right? Sorry, the puns are just there. They're very easy.
But yeah, very excited to get into this new issue. It looks like we're gonna get another small arc here. I'm hoping that this arc can really slingshot Pamela into the future. Um, I don't want this to get. I don't want this whole series to get bogged down by just Woodrue as the main villain. I want it to expand a little bit beyond that. So I'm hoping that they can again launch her forward into the future and keep her going.
Hopefully, they can reintroduce her ex. That would be interesting to see.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, Lucas, what is your final pick?
My final pick is the Avengers number 14. Um, this new lineup looks really fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's mainly the reason why I chose this issue. This lineup looks so good, and it has Jed McKay written all over it. Like, just choosing the characters that really have no right to be back on the main Avengers book. uh, we got Hercules. We got fucking. We got Hazmat, which I never thought in a million years we would see Hazmat on an Avengers book again. Especially after we did that Avengers ranking video, I was like, okay,
We
this is
got
another.
Triple H.
We got Steve back again leading the Avengers. We got Kate Bishop and Quicksilver, who are, I never think they've ever really met. So like, yeah, this is gonna be wild. I'm just really
Yeah,
excited for this because it's just It just looks like the perfect amount of like absurd, deep cut characters that haven't worked together, finally coming together to face off against a wild batch of villains.
Yeah. I'm gonna call this the quirky quintet, just because it has Quicksilver in it. I'm gonna bring that back because this is a crazy lineup. I'm surprised we're not even seeing Sam here. I'm assuming Sam will be the one to call these people together, though, because he was the one that was saved, and teleported off the station. But yeah, really unique team. Like I always say on the channel, I like a motley crew. I like a weird lineup for teams. So this is obviously a good excuse for Jed to do that, given the current state of the Avengers.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I expect this to be pretty heavily into the Bloodhunt storyline just because it is also written by Jed, and I don't think Jed is the type of person to be like, oh yeah, I have to wait for the main issues. I don't even think there's the next main issue is in May, so there's quite a bit of. I mean, the next main issue is like a couple weeks later, so I mean,
Hmm.
it's gonna be a minute, and then we only have five main issues, so I mean, I expect him to be like tying in consistently.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen with Thor, especially because Immortal is not going to tie in with Bloodhunt. So that's kind of a big plot point if we're kind of just lobotomizing Thor. I don't know how they're gonna resolve that, but it's gonna be basically contained, excuse me, to the main book because there's no Thor Bloodhunt one shot to my knowledge. There's no Thor Bloodhunt miniseries to my knowledge, and it's not Immortal's not tying in. So curious to see how that's gonna impact and maybe be tackled in Avengers, hopefully.
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be some books that are just not going to tie into Bloodhunt just because. Yeah, I think Jed. If there's one thing I can say, I think Jed really respects the writer. And if a writer turns down his event, he's not going to be like, "Oh, well, I'm going to make them do a one shot with a different writer." I feel like he would be like, "Okay, cool, no
I
need
don't know
to."
for sure, but I also feel like Al definitely like rolled his eyes when he read Blood Hunt. I just get that vibe.
That's valid. Anyway, that was our polls for this week. Hopefully, you guys enjoy. Remember to like, subscribe, support your local comic shop, and read comics.